One, two, three. Okay. The aim of this online lesson is to try and support you with regards to services in the industry, with regards to services in the construction sector. So I did record this yesterday. Unfortunately for us, the sound didn't come out very well, so I'm going to sort of record it again. Hopefully to help you. This is the second part of the assignment. If you think about the first part was about drainage. Okay, so it was about foul drainage and surface water drainage, and whether they're combined systems or separate systems. Here, it's a separate system. Okay, so that if I just go back a step, if you remember, this is here, Camden House. Sorry, here's Camden House. Charlotte Street, the Link building is there. There's some flats here and there's a car park here, and we're converting that car park into a small sort of housing residential area. 405 high spec houses. Okay, so the black areas here, using the concept of positive and negative space, are houses. Okay, so I've put one in each corner. All right, just to sort of illustrate the point that we're trying to make here. Okay, so at the moment, from the previous lesson, this is drainage systems. This is actually not a combined system. This is separate foul and surface water systems. Okay, with manholes, inspection chambers, but you'd also write about things like pipes, excavations, the fact that they're combined, the advantages and disadvantages, if you see my previous email. Okay, guttering, downpipes, soil and vent pipe. It's all basically in the handouts that you're given and the books that you're given. Okay, so and you could produce quite a nice little, probably a better job than me. You could produce probably a better job than me with regards to the diagram. Okay, so in this session now, the aim of this session now is to introduce the four services to you again. Okay, so because of the sound, all right, and if you remember, there are four services: water, gas, electric, and telecommunications. Okay, just giving you a brief overview again, introduction. They all are on some form of national system. Okay, so for electric, it's the national grid. Okay, and they're all connected. And if you think of the national grid, basically where we get our electric, where the electric is produced from. Okay, maybe a power station, could be offshore wind farm, could be a gas-fired power station. It travels across the country along wires and along pylons. Okay, there is an actual grid. Okay, and it's sort of maintained and run by the national grid. And gas would have the same, but gas would run underground rather than overhead. Okay, water again runs underground rather than overhead. Okay, telecommunications runs underground. Okay, so electric in many respects runs overhead, and also as it gets nearer to where it's nearer to the consumer, the person who needs the electricity, that is, it then starts to run underground. Okay, and because electric, obviously, as it's transported across country on those large sort of pylons and wires, it can be anything up to a couple of 100,000 volts. Okay, and then transformers will increase or decrease that as the case may be. So to go into a property, the electric's got to be stepped down, we call it, using a transformer. So it goes from a couple of thousand volts down to 230 volts, and you need to mention now the voltage. Okay, gas as well comes in via a national system, whether it's offshore gas or North Sea gas. Telecommunications and water as well. Water would usually come from a treatment sort of place, because the water would have been captured either underground or in a reservoir, and then it would go through a filtration process and a chemical process to give us the water that we've got, clean water that we drink and use with the kettles. Okay, so that's basically the stuff that you've got to write about. You've also got to explain the different colours. So water is blue, for instance, gas is yellow, and so on and so forth. Okay, so don't forget the colours as well. All right, so I just want to give you a quick overview of that. All right.